Aloha and Malalele. Welcome to Music 102. This is my final project by Clem Tafolo from the Kingdom of Tonga. What I had chosen from my project is one of the artists that I had come through in the class, which is her name is Ayumi Hamasaki of Japan. Her background. She was born in Fukuoka Prefecture. Hamasaki was raised as the only child by her mother and grandmother since her father was left. Hamasaki's mother worked to support the family, so Hamasaki was primarily taken care of by her grandmother. At age of 7, she began modeling class for local institutions at this bank in order to help with the family's income. But her modeling career did not last long. SOS eventually teamed her to short film model and transferred her to Sun Music as musician agency under the name of Ayumi Hamasaki. She released a rap EP called Nothing to Nothing on the Nippon Columbia label in 1995. Hamasaki did not attend school or have a job, so she spent much of her time shopping in Shibuya Boutiques and dancing at Welfare and Avex's own disco club. At Velvet, she was introduced to her future producer Max Matsula through a friend. After hearing Hamasaki sing karaoke, so Matsula offered her a recording deal, but Hamasaki suspected ulterior motives and turned off down. He persisted in asking recruiting her for Avex's label in the following year. Hamasaki started vocal training but skipped most of her classes after finding her instructors to be too rigid and the classes style. Matsula sent her to New York to train her vocals under another method. During her foreign sojourn, Hamasaki frequently corresponded with Matsula and impressed her with her style of writing. On her return to Japan, he suggested that she try writing her own lyric. This guided by Matsula gave confidence to Hamasaki and helped her able to write lyrics of songs. Starting of her music career. Hamasaki made her debut under Avex on 19th of April 8, 1998 with the single called Poker Face, and the following singles were not major hits. However, each release was better than the last, thus gradually increasing her exposure and presence on the market, and she became one of the most famous Japan artists in Japan. Excuse me. For her achievement, she has earned the title or the award called Japan Critics Award for Best New Artist of that year. Hamasaki began moving beyond the pop rock of A songs and began to incorporate with different styles including trance, dance, and orchestra music. Hamasaki began to experiment with different musical styles in her singles, as well releasing dance tunes and ballads as well as remix on the singles which spans reggae and house. And that is starting off her becoming on her music career and start writing lyrics for most of her songs. The music styles that she used. In the beginning, she was searching for herself in her music, as according to what she said. My music was for me. I didn't have the mental room to be conscious of the listener. I wrote to save myself. I didn't understand what it was to write songs, but over time I began to see many things, my influence, the responsibilities that came. As she was shared before, that she wasn't able to write music songs, but she tried her best to do it, and as a result, she became more confident and she was able to influence. Hamasaki's lyrics all her own. All the lyrics that she writes in her song is all her own. Resonating amongst her fans who praised them as being honest and heartfelt in expressing determination. In a survey that was conducted by Oregon, responded voted Hamasaki's lyrics as their favorite aspect of her artistry. Steve McClare of Japan Times noted that Hamasaki has developed a reputation as a thoughtful, introspective lyrics. According to the Japan Times in the survey that they took, they found out that Hamasaki was one of the world thoughtful and she represents Japan writing person that write lyrics, writing songs well, and she can show how well she can develop in her writing. Hamasaki uses her lyric as an outlet, and then she draws inspiration from her own experience and emotions, and tries to put them honestly into words. She stated that honesty is essential to her lyrics, saying, she's a very strong person, and as she said that honesty is very essential for her and how she write her songs. As she said, if I write when I'm low, it will be a talk song, but I don't care. I want to be honest with myself at all times. This means that she did not use English lyric until her album Rainbow, as she felt that she could be express herself in Japanese. She don't care what people might think of her about the words of the songs that she wrote, the lyrics. She wanted to share, to express the honesty that she has within herself. And her lyrics, she doesn't use English lyrics most of her time, apart from her album Rainbow, as she felt that she could best express herself in Japanese. Her own fans even consider her high-pitched voice Shrishi. She has a very high-pitched voice. Her music is sometimes considered one of the major forces in shaping Japanese current music trends. One of her music is brought shape what is Japanese music trends currently. This has been attributed to her constantly changing image as well as self-made lyrics, though critics credit clever marketing strategies. Hamasaki is also noted for the visual aspect of her artistry. She is considered a fashion trendsetter with her influence extending beyond Japan. She has a lot of fans in Japan, and they just like her because of her voice and also the lyrics of her songs. And as what we have learned before in our music class, that music can influence people's life. This is what happened, and this is just like what Yayumi Hamasaki is doing. She uses different instruments and techniques, including piano, orchestra, gospel choirs, guitars, traditional Japanese strings, music boxes, and effects as yells, clap, and scratch. We can see here that Ayumi still can use some of the Japanese traditional instrument, and she can also use piano, one of the Western music instrument. She can include the orchestra, group music, even gospel choirs, and even the guitars in the music that she used. She also used the effects and yells, clap, and scratching. She can use some instruments that can form up by sounds like yells, claps, and scratching, and all those. And as we can see the different styles and genres of the music that Ayumi has given to us, and we can learn a lot from there, and we can see how cultures or how Japanese strong influence of cultures in music, like Ayumi was doing. She wanted to stay focused herself in expressing herself in Japanese lyrics. What I have learned from Ayumi, or from this artist, she is known as the Japanese Britney Spears. We all know Britney Spears and her music, and she just dressed like her, like Britney Spears. Ayumi puts solid emotion into her voice. Her songs have good melodies, just packed with simple yet pleasant guitar solos. She has done trance, alternative, hard rock, R&B, etc., and yet still giving her style. Unlike most J-pop stars, she rarely uses English in her songs. Her music can be enjoyed by both men and women of all ages, cultures, etc. So generally, although Yayumi shares some characteristics of pop stars all around the world, she has a mind of her own. And unlike most pop stars, she has control of her career. She's also very hot considering her age. And we can see how strong she believes in herself and how a girl from a broken family, broken background, can work hard to develop her talent. And the different style, different type of musics that she used like hard rock, R&B, and yet she keep her style. Although that like most other pop stars in the world, she rarely uses English in her songs. She has stick to her country's language or Japanese language that she loves to use them in her songs. And we all know how well the world and all her fans can enjoy her music by both men and women, all ages and all cultures. So generally, although Ayumi shares some of the characteristics of the pop stars, but she stick to herself and she loves to do what she has thinking of herself is better for her. And what I like best about her, I learned from her about the different genres that she use. She uses the Japanese traditional instruments and also the influences of westernized music with her. And also she interweave some of her musics some of her musics have chorus verse and lyric verse form, and some of her music that I have heard have more like what do you call intro in the front, like a sound or melodies that have been before the music start. But what I have found out about Ayumi, her fans love her, and some of the Japanese influenced by her, they dress up like her, and also they listen to her music most of the time and they act out her music. And I think throughout this music class, what I have learned about different about genres, ostinatos, and also different type of music styles. And I think Yumi is one of the artists that fits all these different melodies, rhythm, and all those stuff that I have learned throughout the music. Ayumi Hamasaki is one of the most influential stars in Japan, not only in Japan, but all over the world. Thank you and mahalo.